So we see this cool part here called the opportunities, where we see your how many opportunities that you have, the value of your pipeline, and the conversion rate. This means how many people actually converted to go from someone who's a potential deal to be an actual deal here. Okay, so this is you're gonna be the health of your business. So this is your sales tracking dashboard that's gonna show the overall health of your entire business. You're gonna be able to see where your lead source report is, how many people are viewing your Google My Business if that's connected. Okay, but let's focus on this part: the opportunities, the pipelines, and the conversion rate. So in order to set this up, we're gonna need to create a pipeline. So let's go to the opportunities board. The opportunities board simply shows you all of your opportunities, your potential opportunities of customers, okay? And in your opportunities board, you're gonna have multiple pipelines. So these are some demo ones that I created here based on past clients who've asked me to show them this account. Now, what a pipeline is just the different stages of your sales process. That's all it is. So when a stranger comes to you, when you meet a stranger who could be a potential customer, what do you call that individual? Like what bucket do they fall in versus the person that you're about to do a deal with? They're in different buckets, right? So let's say if I meet Otis at a networking event. Here it shows my podcast, for example, here. But let's say I meet Otis at a networking event. Otis is considered an opportunity, meaning that he's not a customer yet. He's not even a potential customer. He's just an opportunity. And let's say I didn't even book an appointment with Otis, but hey, with Dan, I already sent him the contract and I already asked him to sign the contract. So these people are in different stages. Now this is just a demo I created, so I'm going to show you how to create yours. So you're going to go to settings here at the bottom. You're going to go to settings and you're going to go to pipelines. Okay, so let me just delete these here. Now, many times people ask me, hey, Andy, how do I organize my business if I have multiple businesses? One way to be able to do that is through your pipelines. You can actually create different names of the businesses through your pipelines. So so let's call this sales process. I'm just going to call this sales process 2 because I already created one here. And let's say the first stage is going to be opportunity. So this is just when I meet someone. So you're going to put your first stage of your sales process. Every business is usually going to be different. Now, what's the second stage? In most businesses, they got to book an appointment. So book appointment. Then in most businesses, they got to send a proposal. So let's call it send proposal. And then once the proposal is agreed on, let's put send contract. And in the last stage, let's put it as closed deal. Every business is going to be different, so you can edit this as much as you want. This is just another way for you to really, truly organize each stage of your business, okay? And let's click save. Okay, so we're focusing on sales process 2. This is an original one that I put in. But let's say I also run a life insurance business. Well, I can put all my life insurance customers here. Let's say that we're going to talk about my health coaching business. And for my health coaching business, the stage starts and we'll just continue on. But right now, we're just going to focus on sales process 2. Okay? Now, we want our pipeline to look like this. So I'm going to start off with a brand new pipeline, which is right here, which is what yours is probably going to look like, where it's going to be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. But you want to really fill this up and determine what stage each person is at, okay? So the way that we're going to create some type of automation. And the automation that we're going to create here is that when an appointment is booked, that I want them to go from opportunity straight to booked appointment. So that way myself and my team, if you have a team, will know what stage that person is at. So let me show you how we're going to do that. So we're going to go, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to automation and we're going to go to workflows. Now what workflows is literally simply connecting based on a trigger. When something happens, what do you want Progreda, the software, to automatically do for you? This is the beauty of automation. So let's create a workflow here, okay? And we're gonna start from scratch. Let's click create new workflow. And in each workflow, it starts off with a trigger. What a trigger means is that when something happens, it triggers a bunch of different actions automatically. So what we're going to look to have is we want to fill up our pipeline on our opportunities board. So you're going to follow me and you're going to click add new trigger. Okay, you're going to follow me and click add new trigger. And then what the trigger that you're going to choose is you're going to choose appointment, and you're going to add a filter. And the filter is going to be that it's in a specific calendar. Okay, so earlier we created the sales appointment calendar, so we're going to use this sales appointment calendar. And then we're going to choose the appointment status is. And if the appointment status is confirmed, then we want to add it to our pipeline. Okay? So then our first action, so we're going to create an action. Now you can see how many different actions you can automate. So if you wanted to send a text message, you can automate that. If you wanted to send a voicemail, you can automate that. If you wanted to add notes to the account, you can automate that based on the actual trigger. But for now, what we're going to do is we're going to add the opportunity. Okay? So we're going to call this create opportunity. Now we're going to have to choose the specific pipeline. Remember, the new pipeline that we're working on is called sales process 2. All right? Now we're going to have to choose what stage that pipeline is in. So we're going to choose book appointment. Okay? And we're going to name this opportunity. So what do you want the name of this opportunity to be? Well, let's say I want to call it deal. This is an example. Let's say I want to call it deal, and I want to put the person's first and last name. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to choose this tag here. Okay. Now this tag is called a custom value, meaning that it's different for every contact that you're actually working with. It's different for every person. So every person's name is going to be different, right? So instead of me actually typing in the person's name here, because we want to automate this, what the software is going to do is when the software sees this, I'm not too sure the name of this colon, this is really code here, but when the software sees this highlighted portion anywhere in the software, it's going to pull in the person's name, okay? And we're going to assign a lead value. Now, what it means to assign a lead value, you're just going to assign how much that lead is actually worth to you. So every business is going to be different. So in this example, let's just use $1,500 for the lead value. Okay. Now this is not a tattoo. You can always change it in the future of how much each person is worth in potential dollars. Okay. And then you're gonna click Save Action. Then you're gonna click Save here. To be organized, it's a good idea to rename it. So when appointment is booked, create opportunity. So I'm gonna rename this. I'm gonna click on turn this on and publish it. Okay, so just like that. So now what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna show you a demo of how that looks like. So let's go back. Before I do that, let's go back real quick to the opportunities board. I just want to show you where we're at. Remember, sales process 2, we currently have nothing in here, but we do have one automation set up through the workflow. So we're going to go now to your calendar. We're going to go to your calendar. We're going to click on calendar settings to grab that link. So we're going to go to sales appointment link, grab that link, and let's just book an appointment here. So let's book an appointment. Let's just, for test purposes, let's choose a random date. So we just chose December 8th. Let's put Andy Test, and the last name is Demo Date. So we know that it's a brand new one. Okay, let's put the phone number. Let's put Andy Test at Gmail. And let's click book appointment. If we want to skip it, we can skip this portion. And then now the appointment has been booked. So let's go back to Progreda. And let's go back to the opportunities board right here. And automatically, literally automatically, we now saw Andy Test, okay? And we can go in and we can see that information. Now, the great thing is the software caught that I have used this email before. So I wrote hijack, but you can see all the activity that I just did right now here in the activities panel inside of the contact record. Okay, so it automatically put in my information here. It brought in where the lead was created, and it has all past information because I've used this email before and I've used this phone number before. That's why it brought in all this details over. But here in the opportunities board, if I go back to opportunities, you can see where now the booked appointments automatically there. And remember how I set it up? I put the word deal and then I put the contact records first and last name. So the first name was Andy Test, the last name was Demo All Date that I had put in. And now remember I put in $1,500 as the lead value. So that increased over here in the dashboard. The reason why is because I have so many here, but here it would have increased the opportunities completely overall. And here I can move this over to different stages. And the great thing about Progreda is if you have the completely unlocked version of the software, we have multiple tiers. But let's say, for example, when a deal moves to send contract, for example, let me cancel out of here. So when a deal is moved to send proposal, for example, or send contract, the great thing about our software is that you can automate different things. So you can automate different workflows to make your life so much easier. And that's if you have the marketing automation suite where you have the whole entire software unlocked. Then you could ultimately work with that customer, close the deal, and then once they get to close deal, then you move them to one, and that's gonna let you know that you won the deal. And here you can review all the deals that you won. So let's look at the deal that we won. You can look at deals that you lost, that were abandoned, or that's currently open. But what I like to do is I like to have all there, so that way I can see all on this specific pipeline. Now, if you have multiple businesses, you can, let's go to sales process 2. Remember, this was a custom name that I chose. So you can have it be about a product. So you can call this pipeline a specific product in your industry, or you can have this pipeline be a specific business, so that way it's organized effectively. And you can move people along the way, so that way you see each stage how much potential business is there. Many times when I work with small business owners and they're starting and they're really growing their business, they'll say, Andy, I don't know how much potential money I'm leaving on the table. This is how you'll find out. Right here, by managing all your opportunities and moving them down the pipeline and turning an opportunity into a closed deal.